Hey everybody, welcome back to Auto Anatomy. Man, I am so excited to tell you about this new project here on the channel, and I can't wait to share it with you. So for a long time, my dad's been wanting a 64 to 66 Thunderbird, the big gigantic land yachts, and we've been looking for probably the last few months. And I found a bunch of cars for sale, and actually most of them are here in Colorado. So if you're looking for a Thunderbird, that's where they are. And for one reason or another, they just didn't work out. Either they were too expensive or rusted out, or the owners flaked out and didn't really want to sell it. Well, fast forward to a couple of weeks ago, and I found this car on Facebook and reached out to the sellers, and they said, yep, we'd be happy to show it to you. There's a couple other people ahead of you that want to see it, and we'll let you know if they don't pick it up. So I was kind of bummed about it because it looked perfect. It was exactly what we were looking for. Well, fast forward a few days and I get a message from them saying that, they've been talking about it and they would like us to come look at it first. So we hopped in the car, grabbed the trailer, and took off to go see the car. Got up there and it was absolutely everything we wanted. So a little backstory about the car. The gentleman that owned it was driving it every day, and he drove it into the garage in about 1988, as best his family can remember, and there it sat. And he's since passed away, and his family was trying to clean out the garage and clean up the property a little bit, and they put it up for sale. So they put new tires on it, but they did not try and start the car. So since 1988, best they can remember, the car has not run since. So on this episode, we're going to go through the car and get it cleaned up, go through all the systems, and see if we can fire it up. So first fire up in 30 years roughly. The whole goal with this project is we'd like to get it up and running and then have my dad fly out here to Colorado Springs, and we're going to drive it back from Colorado Springs to Memphis and do as much of it as possible on Route 66. And we want to see so much of like the classic Americana of the United States. We want to see things like, the Leaning Water Tower in Groom, Texas. We want to go to the Big Texan Steakhouse in Amarillo, the Cadillac Ranch, Route 66 Midpoint, and do things like take some pictures out front of the classic, was it the Conoco Tower and Station, and you drop in Shamrock. Do things like that. So we want to drive across country on the Mother Road on Route 66 and drive this thing back from Colorado Springs to his home in Memphis. So before firing it up, I want to go through and make sure that it's safe to do. So we'll change the oil in it. I'm going to pull out one of the plugs, or maybe all the plugs, and run a bore scope in there, take a look at the inside of the cylinder, make sure we don't have something that's about to catch a ring land and pop a ring. Probably pull the valve covers off, make sure that they're done, and then we'll go through the carburetor and rebuild it eventually. Change belts and hoses and that kind of stuff. But I'm really curious. I want to hear this thing run. So let's get a plug out and see what the inside of the cylinders look like. I picked up this cheap little bore scope on Amazon. I think I paid like $20 for it. So let's see how good a job it does. And it's wireless. I can't really see anything there. So these just look carbon fouled. I'll replace them all. I just want to put them back in and see if we can get this thing running. Now, if I were Hoovie's garage, I would just call up the wizard and tell him to put it up on the lift, and we could crawl under it and see everything that's going on with it. But I don't have a wizard, so We'll do this on our back. Since this thing's been sitting for 30 years, I think I'm going to treat it like it's a new engine. And what I mean is we'll change the oil, and then once it gets cranked up and running and has had a chance to circulate through everywhere, shut it off and then change the oil again. Now, everybody's got their own thoughts when it comes to engine cleaners. You know, some people say Seafoam works great, and it really does. I like Marvel Mystery Oil. So I'm going to put like most of this quart into the engine along with the oil, let it run, get good and hot, and clean everything out, and then change the oil again. All right, now that the oil's changed, I feel a little bit better about going in and trying to fire it up. So I think we should put some gas in it and see what happens. What do y'all think? So I stole my wife's hair color applicator. Sorry, babe. I'll buy you another one. Let's put some gas in this thing and see what happens. And just in case, let's open up the garage door. There's nothing. Oh, it tried to start. Oh, it's so close. She runs. All right, so we know the car runs, but what was hard to see on camera is that every time I hit the throttle, the accelerator pump was leaking and it was pouring fuel out of everywhere. Let's get the carburetor off and get it on the bench and go through it and rebuild it. All right, get the carburetor back on the workbench here. I think this is an Autolite 4100. It looks like it's missing actually a couple of pieces. I don't know if you can see. Looks like the accelerator pump linkage is missing the little clip here that's holding it on. But otherwise, it appears pretty complete. I think most likely it just needs to be gone through and cleaned up and make sure all the passages aren't gummed up and whatnot. But I've got a full rebuild kit for it, so let's get started disassembling here. Actually, they didn't look all that bad. Kind of surprised because it was leaking out here on the side. Okay, here goes nothing. If all those fails, you get out the instructions. So it's actually not all that bad down in here. I mean, there's some gradu down in there, but it's not terrible. I don't know if you... So I think that's as far apart as I'm going to take this. Let's go get it into the carb bath and cleaned up, and then we'll start reassembly. So we know the car runs, and actually runs really well, all things considered. Still got a lot of things to do in the car. We need to go through basically every system in it. Hit the transmission, the brakes, cooling system, ignition system, replace the plugs and wires, and then hopefully go for a test drive pretty soon. Listen, if you like what you see in this channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button and click on the bell to be notified when new videos come out. I've got all kinds of automotive content on our channel. We've got our 52 Chevy project that we're working on. We've got our 65 Mustang Project Code Blue that we're working on. We've got a 28 Model A. We've got a 65 Ranchero. So all kinds of things that are going on with this channel, but it all depends on you. So you're the reason that we make these videos. If you like what you see, click on that subscribe button, share with your friends, let other people know what's going on here, and that lets me know that you like the things that you see and you want me to keep making videos. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.